Hello, my name is Joe Mulcrone. I work for Apply Controls. I am a sensor sales engineer. Apply Controls is the local Cognex distributor or partner in the area. A little background on Cognex, they are the worldwide leader in machine vision. They've been doing it for about 35 years. They recently implemented their 1 millionth system, so they've seen a lot of applications and solved a lot of applications. Before I get started, is there anyone that is not here that should be here that could take advantage of seeing this demonstration or take advantage of this lab kit offer that I'm going to get into more detail in? It's a really good deal for the sensor and accessories. So if there's anyone here or is not here that should be here, please call them in now. Okay. Now to get started. So the reason I'm here today is to show you the Insight 2000 vision sensor. It's Cognex's new vision sensor on the market. So just a little brief background on this vision sensor. The housing is a die cast, which gives an IP65 rating. You can physically change the form factor of it by popping out two screws and twisting it, and then you can change it to a 9-degree form factor. So if you're running out of room in the panel, you need to save some room, or on the line, or you know, if it's easier to mount it with the 90 degree, you can always change it to the 90 degree, or just order it standard as the 90 degree. But you can field change it. So another great thing is the modularity. So you can actually change the optics and the lensing. So the optics, the lighting, the lensing, and even filters. So that gives us great adaptability and flexibility. So for example, if you buy the sensor today, put it on the line for some reason, 6 months down the line, if you need to move it up, instead of having to buy a new sensor like you would have to if you bought another company's, you can just buy a $125 lens instead and move up and change the lens instead of buying a whole new sensor. So another example would be if you put this in today, maintenance for some reason changes the lighting, and you need to change the lighting that you see, or you need to put a diffuser on there or a polarizer. I mean, you can do that. So it gives us great flexibility and adaptability to different applications and environments. Another thing is that sets us apart is our light. So it's Cognex calls it a torch light. They actually spent 2 years of R&D on this light. It's 8 diffused LEDs. Um, so it's a very powerful light, and if you know anything about vision, lighting is very important, and we have the best light on the market bar none for the vision sensor. Um, Another thing that sets us apart is our ease of use, and I will go ahead and get into the software and actually show you how easy it is to use in a minute here. But that is it's very user friendly and very easy to use, and it's easy to program, and we'll do it in about 10 minutes. Locating the part and doing a few inspections in about 10 minutes. So that's truly how easy it is to use. Another thing that sets the Insight 2000 apart is the resolution. We have the best resolution on the market, and what that means is better reliability and repeatability. So better images gives you better reliability and repeatability. To pair with the better images, we have the best algorithms and vision tools on the market. So the best pattern find tool on the market, and that's very important for locating the part to say, hey, I see a part, let's go ahead and do an inspection on the part. So our resolution mixed with our powerful vision tools, best vision tools on the market, gives us a great combination and the best on the market. So I know I talked about the ease of use earlier. Let's go ahead and get into the software. Before I get into the software, I do want to mention our DataMan ID series. So we do ID barcode reading. Do you guys have any applications with barcode reading or ID applications coming up? Oh, you do? Okay, great. Maybe we can sit down after this and discuss the DataMan. Oh, you just want to buy 1,000 right now? Yeah, we can do that. Great. Sounds great. So let's go ahead and get into the software. Okay, so now I am in the software. Just a little background on the software, quick little background. So at the top here, you'll find New Job. You will find open job. So if you save a job and then open it. So say today we have your application solved. I can go ahead and save it, and then once your sensor comes in that you purchased, I can send you the job file. You load it right up, and you're off and running. Keep going through. There's different triggers that you can use. Today we'll be using, I'll show you live mode and a repeating trigger. You also have a single trigger, and then you can go ahead and zoom in on your picture and everything like that, and put the reader or sensor online. Over here to the left are your application steps. They will get you from the beginning to the end of the job. So getting connected all the way through running the job. We'll go ahead and set up the image. We'll locate the part. We'll do the inspections. You can configure your inputs and outputs and your communication, and then you can save and run the job. Over here to the right is your palette. So this will show you the jobs that you are running and which ones are passing and failing, so the result. This is the time that's taken to run the jobs, and that's just a little brief overview. So let's go ahead and connect to the camera, and we are connected. So like I said, first we're going to have to set up our image. So we'll go ahead and set up our lighting, get the proper lighting, hitting auto exposure, and then going back to manual and hitting compute. So that sets the exposure, auto sets the exposure, and then you want to keep it in manual exposure so it doesn't adapt over time and change the lighting as time goes on. So you want to usually, based on the application, most of the time you're going to keep it on manual exposure, but that's something I can help you out with. So let's go ahead. You can see the image is a little blurry. We'll go ahead and put it into live mode. So Cognex actually decided to go with a manual focus as opposed to an autofocus based on customer feedback. The customers came back to us and made it clear that the flexibility that we offer by being able to change the optics and lenses and lighting was more important than more important than an autofocus. So as I'll show you right now, focusing it, you do one time at the very beginning, and it takes 5 seconds or less. So all you have to do, I have a screwdriver. All you have to do, there's a little bolt back there, and turn the bolt. And all I'm watching is the focus metric right here. So I'm gonna try to get the highest number I can. So it's 47. So, and that looks like a very clear picture. So let's go ahead, get it right in the field of view, and take it out of live mode. So you can see the resolution that I was talking about earlier. It's a very crisp picture. So now that we have a good image, we set it up. Let's go ahead and locate the part. But something to mention before that we do have, it's called image magnification mode. So it's 2x mode. So what this can do, just right in the software, I'll show you. I click on it, and it magnifies the picture by 2 times. So the great thing about this is you do not lose any resolution. So it's as if you were to take the 8mm lens that is in it and replace it with a 16mm lens, but we do it right in the software. So that's something I mentioned that we do have. Onto the locate part. So as I talked about earlier, the locating part, you use a pattern find. So this green box around it is your search region. So this is everywhere that the camera is going to look for the pattern. And your model region is what it's going to look for. So I'll go ahead and put the model region over the Cognex label because I know this is on both sides. And just to show you what the chip looks like quick, this is the good side, so it has 2 chip stacks right there and a horseshoe, and that's the good side. On the back it has 1 chip stack and a pair of dice. So we'll go ahead and do inspections on the chip stacks and the horseshoe to make sure we look good. So take it back out of live mode. So right now I am locating the Cognex part. So as I was talking about earlier, I always like to name my job, so I'm going to name this find label. So then on my palette I can see the actual name. So if we have 5 jobs in there and one's failing, it's not just going to read pattern 3. It's going to say you're failing, find horseshoe, and I'll know exactly what it's failing. Down here is the rotational tolerance. So I'm going, just for this demo, I'm going to change the rotational tolerance from -180 to +180 degrees, so 360 degrees. So I can go ahead and rotate the chip 360 degrees and it will still find the label. So let me put it in a repeating trigger and go ahead and move it throughout the field of view, and you can see it's finding it and passing it. So no problem there. So let's go ahead and do some inspections. So the first inspection we're going to do is to make sure, let me just get it straight on. I have a little OCD. Let's go ahead and we're going to inspect to make sure we have 2 stacks of chips. So we're going to do a simple pixel count. So I click on pixel count, I put the search region over the 2 chips, or stacks of chips, I'm sorry, and I press OK, and the software will automatically pick out the dark pixels, the black pixels, and highlight them in yellow, as you can see. So it does a really good job, so I'm just going to stick with that. So then down here you can mess with your thresholds if you need to. It's based on your application again. And again, I'm going to name find chips. Okay. And now let's go ahead and put it in a repeating trigger. And we are passing both, rotating it, and we're still passing. Alright, so now I'll flip it and it should fail because it's not going to find enough pixels. So it fails. So if you look over here to the palette, finding the label, it's passing, so it is locating the part and it's doing the inspection, but it's failing to find chips because it's not seeing enough black pixels. So that's inspection 1, and then we pass on the other side. So let's go ahead and take it out, repeating trigger. Second inspection we're going to do is a pattern. So we're going to inspect the horseshoe to make sure it is in fact a horseshoe on the chip. So go ahead and take my search region down, and again, because the inspection is fixtured to the label, I don't have to change the rotational tolerance because it knows where in relation to the label it is supposed to be looking. So I do not have to mess with that. So let's go ahead and name this. We're going to do find horseshoe. Alright, and again, we'll put it on a repeating trigger. So, let me get in the field of view. So it's in the field of view. You can see it's finding the label, passing, finding the chip stacks, passing, and finding the horseshoe that's passing. So let's go ahead, rotate it all around, get it in the field of view, and it's passing with no problem. So now that we can pass it, let's go ahead to the bad side where it should fail both. So I flip it over to the bad side, and it fails both. So if you look over here to the palette, it finds the label, it passes, but then the find chips, it fails, and find horseshoe, it fails, because, again, doesn't find enough black pixels because there's not 2 chip stacks, and it doesn't find the pattern that's looking for down here. So that's actually your model region. It shows you exactly what it's looking for right there. So it does not pass, but again, flip it over to the good side, and it passes both. Yep, it passes both. So that was just a little example of the software, and let me go ahead and recap now. Alright, so that is what I had for you for the Cognex Insight 2000 demo. Just to recap a few things quick that set the Insight 2000 apart. The first is the modularity that I went through at the beginning that gives you ultimate flexibility and adaptability by being able to change the optics and the lensing and the lighting. Second thing is our resolution. As you saw in the software, we have a very crisp picture and the best resolution on the market. And the resolution paired with our very powerful vision tools, the best pattern find in the market, will give you the best repeatability and reliability in every and any application. Again, the last thing that sets us apart is the ease of use. So you saw it in the software demonstration, but I set up an image, I located the part, and I did 2 inspections in about a little under 9 minutes. So that shows you truly how easy it is to use. As at the beginning, I mentioned the lab kit offer, so let me just go over that with you quick. We have this lab kit offer right now that I'll leave this card with you as well, so you can give me a call when you make a decision. For $695, you get the Insight 2000, the exact one that I brought here today, the 130 model. Comes standard with an 8mm lens and a white light. that white torch light that I mentioned earlier. It also comes with a 16mm lens, an extender, and it comes with the power and Ethernet cords, and a mounting bracket. And then for an additional $4.95, you can get the accessories kit. So this is truly meant to be a lab kit, so you can put it in your lab, test different applications on it, and then decide that the sensor will work for this application, and then you can come back to me and purchase the sensor that way for those applications. But that is all I had for you today. Is there any reason you wouldn't want to go forward with purchasing one of these? Okay, great. We take cash. Alright, have a good one. Thank you.